Like, sub, share, speak. When I saw this article, it was like, those tire screech. Ah! Wait, I gotta do a video on this because this is coming to us from the New York Post. Broke men are hurting American women's marriage prospects. And this is written by Hannah Frishberg. And this was published yesterday. Oh man, it's like the brain. It's like it's still fresh. The brain is still fresh. I gotta get it onto the. We got to get the brain onto the table and get it cut open to dissect what we need to get our anecdote. Okay, so what I'm recognizing is that a lot of people tend to look at the world in a me first, what kind of way, like a why does all the bad things have to happen to me and nobody else but me type of way. That's not the perspective over here. And if you look at America as a country, over the past, 50, 60 years, there's been this push. Some can call it feminism. Some can call it corporatism. There's been like the average American has been getting attacked at every angle or at every sensory projection, from the moment they're born till the moment they go into the grave. That's just how we are. And so we're conditioned and we are, culturally manipulated into seeing the world from a certain point of view. And that point of view usually comes down to where you're from, your experiences, your parents, your economic status, all these different things. So rock with me in the general just for a little bit. Now, if you are of the elite class and you want a workforce that is, you want a strong workforce, well, guess what? You want men and women in the workforce. If you want, chaos, particularly in your urban areas, well, what you want is you want policy that drives men out of homes. If you want the strength, the backbone of your society, which is its masculine energy, to be undermined, well, what you do is you project your feminine as a suppressed, oppressed class, and thusly gently push the ladies of your society, which is the United States, into entering the workforce and believing that they are equal instead of complementary, but they're actually equal to men, and thusly they can live the life of a man with the same type of joy and receive the same type of I guess substance, the same type of satisfaction that a man does in living a man's life, which actually goes against the biological traits, against the biological makeup. As Americans, you are, or we are, subject to a complete ignorance and a complete denial of our biological and our human natures, and it all serves a greater purpose. But yeah, let's see what Miss Frishberg has to say, because she is of this. I can guarantee you, she's of the mindset that, oh my goodness, these men are broke and they have to do something about it. This is always on the men. So let's go. There's a devastating shortage of men who have their act together, according to a new study that may not be so surprising to all the single ladies out there. So yeah, it's the men who don't have their act together. It has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that, all of the programs that have pushed females and women into college and into higher paying positions. Like, I have a sister right now who makes about 65 grand a year teaching. I mean, they dog the shit out of her for that 65 grand, but she gets paid a pretty decent amount of money teaching. And I've done articles and videos on how $15 an hour, you raise that pay rate up to $15 an hour and you're still not clocking in 40 grand. you're still going to have a hard time. So with the overabundance of males in the per hour work game as opposed to the females who, like, I mean, when it comes to bureaucracy and office work, I mean, not 7 times out of 10 it'll be a female taking that position, because that's definitely what they're more accustomed to, as the more masculine jobs are slowly but surely snuffed out and, you know what I'm saying, pushed away and compartmentalized. Research now suggests that the reason for recent years' decline in the marriage rate could have something to do with the lack of economically attractive male spouses who can bring home the bacon, according to the paper published Wednesday in the Journal of Family and Marriage. Most American women hope to marry, but current shortages of marriageable men with a stable job and a good income, make this increasingly difficult, says lead author Daniel Litcher in a press release. Let's break that down. Deal is, ladies, is that if you are making, nothing, and a guy's making about 35 grand, guess who's balling out of control in that relationship, But as, like I've said, more women are taking jobs making 65 grand a year. And, let's not pretend like college isn't playing a role in this as well. And many aren't even in the degrees that they've obtained. Many people, and it's not just women, but the way our workforce is set up is that, you don't particularly need the degree you have for the job that you eventually get, but it does, like our colleges, I guess, work as a bit of a door, as a bit of a gateway for our people coming out of these institutions to, get work and take care of themselves. But ultimately, there's a lot of men. There's I think we're almost to a point where there are more women graduating from college per year than there are men enrolling in college per year. And so, and plenty of those guys are making great cash doing vocational work and going to trade schools, or, just like figuring it out and going out and, creating apps and doing all these other different ventures. There's tons of way to make a nut. I mean, this country has absolutely if you a hustler, you can make it in America. Make no mistake. But there's a difference between that and taking the traditional route, which many women initially went into college, just seeking to, lock down a boyfriend or husband and, make the babies and chill. But that's just not the case. And that's very specific. There's a reason for that. It's because you need, like, you also got priced out of, like the price is ridiculous. The cost of living has gotten astronomical, particularly in New Jersey, but really all over the country, the cost is going up. Litcher adds that unless your dream man is an Uber driver, the dearth of would-be grooms is prominent in the current gig economy of unstable, low-paying service jobs. And that's where a lot of guys are. To investigate the man drought, researchers created profiles of potential husbands based on real husbands as logged in American Community Survey data. They then compared these hypothetical spouses with actual unmarried men. They found that a woman's made-up husband makes 58% more money than the current lineup of eligible bachelors. Of course. Because ultimately, and this is nature. Ladies, don't get upset, but it is like your nature to just I like to have the option of being able to say, screw this, I can be out. Like there was a show, Everybody Hates Chris, and one of the running gags was, I don't need this job. My husband got 2 jobs, and that really speaks to female nature and what they just like to have the option for the most part, and that requires a man with a decent job. But in this particular, in urban communities, but as you can see is nationwide, instead of having industry here with us manufacturing and working and having plants that take care of our people and encouraging the nuclear family, because the nuclear family has been completely disincentivized, and a lot of people are looking up, acting like, oh wait, how did that happen? There's all these single moms looking up wait a second, where's my husband? It's bitch, 18 years and 12 dicks ago? That's what your husband is. What are you talking about? But yeah, the nuclear family has been completely dismantled. Some ladies are even starting to date down in order to score a forever partner. It won't work. It won't work. We had that conversation now, didn't we? Jody Meeks, Chloe Green. A woman cannot elevate a man. It's just not the way. It's not our nature. It's not our biological way. Yet they believe that they can't. Oh, they're gonna date down and they will resent that man. Oh, it's a bad look. And sure, there's the whole love factor in a marriage, but in the end, it also fundamentally an economic transaction. No, bro, in the beginning, it's an economic transaction that a lot of people. I will leave it on these two folks. This George Street Playhouse has brought world class theater artists. Okay, I can't help but feel sponsored. Okay, so this has absolutely nothing to do with the article. It seems like a pretty interesting picture to have with the article, but no, this is just some random play at the George Street Playhouse. Shout out, I guess. All right, so back to my point. Over the past 50, 60 years with feminism, the drug war, so many different policies, so many different mechanisms put in place. No fault divorces, child support. I'm telling you guys, the fact that there are shortages, the fact that we perceive the way we our natural urges want things to play out and the way they actually play out are two different things. Our natural urges are to create a tribe, have a family, do for our own and get our own and lift them up. But the mindset and the conditioning, it goes completely against that, in particular when it comes to our ladies. I'm gonna be real with you. If you got like $10,000 here, right? Let's say you got $10,000 in America. That's nothing, okay? But so if you're dating a chick, ain't but a minute for that money to run out. But let's say you take that to some place like like Peru or someplace, a little hole in the wall, and you meet a girl from there. Oh, all of a sudden, guess who's balling out of control, So, ladies, you kind of, in a lot of ways, priced yourselves out of the sexual market. And that's dependent, and trust me, that all also comes down to your age. Like, ladies, it's so important for you to make smart and strategic, decisions when you're younger, as opposed to us as guys, because, yeah, we have, technically, barring devastation, we have more time than you do in order to accomplish such things. So, yeah. This was a very interesting report, and I really wanted to just get into it because these broke men, and actually, if you're unfamiliar, the male suicide rate is like the highest that it's ever been, or it's creeping up towards being the highest that it's ever been. And it's because there's so many brothers out here with no purpose. Because, the line from Fight Club always prevails, like, there's no great war. Well, I mean, there's wars, but there's no great wars. You're just like, you're lost to the annals of time. And with that type of energy comes frustration. And so you'll see things like the demonstrations on all sides, really. Because, hey, I mean, when you don't have a real boogeyman, you got to make one up for yourself. Right? And thusly, everything gets lost in the wind. But in particular, our families have. I mean, with the removal of the men. And this is not just a black thing. No. This is an American thing. There's books like, the night dad went to jail. Like, that's a real book. So, with the breaking of the American people, this is a side effect of it. Ladies, y'all balling out of control, but that's not honestly, it's an unnatural position that you've been placed in because capitalism needs women. Capitalism needs women to have all the money in the world because, damn it, y'all can just spend it better than we can. Y'all, not better, you can spend it. You can spend it faster than we can. I'll put it so that's much better. You can spend cash way faster than we can. So, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub, if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring, and YouTube and BitChute, we'll see. And speak, let me know, what do you think in the comments? I mean, am I wrong? I'm always here for it. Let me know. And until the next one.